much, Prof. Alam, and thank you very much, WIST, for giving me this opportunity. So, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everyone, wherever you are. So, today my topic is sustainable development and business schools. So I will try my level best, yes, for those students who are specifically in the business schools. So I will get your problem statement and how you can cater it into the research objectives and how you can get your results regarding the sustainable development goals specifically in the business area. I will try my level best to present some of the business cases or some of the real stories or the impacts that how we have been created in the business schools. So let me introduce myself. Recently, I joined one of the top business schools of Pakistan, which is, you can see the Bahria Business School. And currently, I'm working as a dean and professor over there in the management department. So it's a AACSB Business Education Alliance member. And you can see some of other my credentials here. So later on, you can, I already shared my presentation with the Prof. Alam, and later on you can see it and you can Google me or you can contact me for any collaboration. So now the question is, what is sustainability? So everyone knows that sustainability is very important nowadays, but let me give you a simply a history that it has been derived from the World Commission on Environment and Development, the WCED, in 1987, which has kind one of the top cited definition to meet the needs of present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. So I'm not going into the detail because I know that everyone is well aware of this definition. So why we need sustainability? So as the previous speakers presented that, and Prof. Alam also presented that there is economic growth, specifically in the shape of the climate change environment. And really, it has devastated Pakistan and every country. Recently, in some of the other countries, the floods we have already seen in China, Hong Kong, and every country. And specifically the temperature is rising, and really it is the dilemma for the human civilization that to reach to the minimum level of the temperature. Similarly, you can see that the previous century and the current century is also recorded as the hottest century of human civilization. And there is somewhere there's a massive rain, some peat fires and landsliding you can see in the pictures as well. So the environment is a real threat to our future generation, the environmental issues. Similarly, you can see that we are losing some of the biodiversity and water scarcity problems are coming over here around the globe. So again, there's an alarming situation that how to address these challenges. So similarly, you can see that the economic side of the economies. So you can see that there is an uneven distribution among the economies, and it has created some noise around the continents and around the countries. So you may see in this picture. So how to curb these social, economic, environmental issues? So to curb these issues, the agenda of sustainable development is one of the eliminating factors that how to reduce these social, economic, and environmental issues. So you can see that the United Nations has promulgated some of the sustainable development goals. So there are 169 targets and 231 indicators that how to curb one of the goals like no poverty, zero hunger, and so on and so forth. So what is the role of business in this scenario? So you can see that you can see some of the other directions of the sustainable development goals. Nowadays we can call it social, economic, environmental, and nowadays they have added inclusivity and governance. So you can see that every dimension is a research area. So everyone can work on this area, and everyone can contribute to these areas, that how business schools, how business graduates, how business organizations, how business university indicators. Similar agenda of sustainable development for sector, and we can call it education for sustainable development. So the new area is emerged from the sustainable development goals. When we embed the SDGs goals into the education sector, we can call it education for sustainable development. So the same definition is here, that how to curb the sustainability problems in the from the perspective of education. So you can see the definition here. So we can cater these problems through the education sectors, and specifically from the business schools. So there are some assessment tools are available specifically in the business area, or the in the education sector, that how we can curb these sustainability issues. So you can see the research, we can include it into the operations, student engagement, planning, administration, innovation, identity, sustainability, and campus reporting. So later on, I will show you some of the real examples over here. So you can see that we have some. Okay, so you can see that there are some environmental issues. So most of the biodiversity we have declined, and nowadays we are facing the water scarcity problems. So similarly, you can see that there are some economic issues. There is some economic disparity. There some of the assets are in the with the uneven distribution, you can see over here, and it has created unsustainable practices around the globe. So how to curb these issues, social, economic, environmental issues? We are required sustainable practices, and sustainable development goals are some of the initiatives that can curb these problems. So there are 169 targets and 231 indicators. We can address these social, economic, and environmental issues. So you can see in another way look like this, that nowadays we are called it social, economic, environmental, and inclusivity and governance issues. So actually, this is one of the each dimension is one of the areas for research. So those students who are intended to start working on these areas, so they can look to these practices, and they can start their research accordingly. Now, how sustainable development goals are embedded into the education sector. So the new dimension emerged, we can call it education for sustainable development. It means that when we are heading into our systems, so you can call it education for sustainable development. So you can see the definition here. Simply, it portrays that how to address the sustainable development issues in the education sector. So simply, you can call it education for sustainable development. You can see here we have assessed all the indicators that how education for sustainable development can be implemented, and there are some indexes over here, and we have studied those indexes around the globe, and we can find some of the anomalies over here. And later on, you can see at the end we have our own publication. We have proposed our own index that would be the most comprehensive index that cover everything like education, research, operations, that how to embed sustainable practices into the education for sustainable development. So now I will come that how the agenda of education for sustainable development in the business schools, that how business school can curb these sustainable development goals. So you can see that the same definition from the World Development WCAG. So you can see that the same definition was promulgated over here for the business sectors. So to meet the needs of enterprise and its stakeholders today, while enhancing, sustaining, and protecting the human and natural resources. So you can see that you can combine those definitions, and this is the agenda of business sector, that what we can demand from the business community and from the business graduates. So they will around this definition. So it's all about the stakeholders management, and you can see some of the interchangeable terms were here. So simply you can use it as a sustainability practices. You can call it triple bottom line, ESG, SRIs, green businesses, and so on and so forth. But the main agenda is all about the stakeholders management. In Pakistan, you can see that our business council, they are also focusing on the sustainable practices, and they have included one full standard of the social responsibility, where you can focus the education for sustainable development. Similarly, the AACSB has also included one section is a social responsibility and impact creation from your practices. So means the business councils are also the business schools are also interested to implement the sustainable development goals in the business education. Similarly, you can see that the Global Reporting Initiative also promulgated some of the guides for the business practices, that how to implement sustainable practices. In the coming slide, you can see that these are the practices which are demanding by the regulatory bodies like United Nations, and in Pakistan as well. And in every country, they are demanding that the business organization are required to practices like sustainable practices. So to the business graduate, these practices should be highlighted, and they should work on these practices like you can see water, energy, material, employment, decent work, and something like that. And it is already related with the sustainable development goals. So in one of our research, we have modified this index, and we have modified some of the other dimensions rather than to focus on the GRI practices. And you can see, and Emerald awarded us best award for excellence outstanding papers. You can see, you can Google this paper, and you can try to grab some of your research areas from these, from each dimension you are here. You can see over here. So some of the companies in Pakistan, they are also reporting GRI reporting. I will not going into the detail. So similarly, the Pakistan Stock Exchange is also focusing that companies are required to report the sustainable development practices. You can see that the glimpse from their websites over here, and you can see some banks are reporting sustainable development practices. So it means that this is the agenda of business schools, and every education sector that to require to educate their business graduates regarding the sustainability and sustainable development goals. Now I will show some of the success stories very quickly, that what we have done in our business school. So you can see that some of my students are also writing reports for the universities, and they are applying for the impact ranking. So you can see this is the report already written by my students, and we applied for the impact ranking, and we got impact ranking. So later on, I'm just going to invite everyone that we can collaborate for the impact ranking reportings, and it would be available from our side to you. You can see that my students applied for the impact ranking. They have written this report and applied for it, and we got the impact ranking for one of my previous universities, for especially from the business school. So similarly, we are working with the Pakistan Stock Exchange. I'm the member of developing the guide for ESG and sustainable development goals reporting, which is, you can see that this is the agenda of sustainable stock exchanges. Again, this is the agenda of the sustainable development goals and United Nations. You can see over here. So we are working. We have already developed one guide, and we have given to the Pakistan Stock Exchange, and nearly they will implement these guides for the companies. We have also designed some of the sustainability and sustainable development policy for my university. So later on, if someone is interested, so I can share, and we can collaboratively work on it as well for their university. Similarly, we have designed one course, corporate sustainability and financial performance, and everything you have seen designed by my students, and we have graduated more than 5 batches from this course, and they are serving the industry nowadays, and they are writing sustainability reports, sustainable development reports for the business organizations. So we have started it in spring 2020, and many students have been graduated from this course. You can see that these are some of our top journals we have published from that domain, education for sustainable development. We have focused on the integration, how to integrate. This is one of the main issues already highlighted by the United Nations, that how to integrate sustainable practices, specifically in the business sector, as well as nowadays they are focusing on the education sector. So you can see we are working on the gender diversity, we are working on the female production, we are working on the real estate, we are working on the education sector and the Islamic banking industry as well. So there are many publications available also on my profile, you can see, and we can collaborate as well. Similarly, we have published a few books like Research on Sustainable Development in Malaysia. This is edited book, already I published. Another book is coming for the circular economy. We are also working with the Saudi Arabian government. We have already submitted one proposal to Saudi government for the circular economy in the manufacturing sector. We are also writing in the newspaper just to aware the stakeholders. So you can see the glimpse over here. Okay, this is the impact slide, Prof. I want to, Prof. Am I audible to everyone?
Carry on, Professor. Carry on.
Okay, okay, great. This is my one of some of my last slides were here. This is the impact we have created in the last 5 years. You can see I have developed one center for sustainability, for sustainable development area. They are writing reports, they are writing policies for the government. We have already gained some of the grants over here, like ₹1 million. We have conducted some of the international conferences. The one I am presenting over here as well. It is also will be the part of the for the later my report. Some book chapters I already mentioned. So this is the impact you can see, and we are working more for the sustainable practices in the upcoming years, inshallah. So I have developed one course for the University of Kentucky, Education for Sustainable Development, the way forward, and we have trained more than 400 faculty members for the same what I mentioned in the previous slides. And I'm giving you this that we can train some other international members as well. So it will be free of cost from my side to all of the conference members. So you can see the claims over here. Okay, so these were my collaborators with my previous universities. You can see I have worked with these universities, and I'm working with these universities for the education for sustainable development goals. So that's all from my side, and this is my profile, and everyone can reach me and through Prof. Alam, and I'm working with the Prof. Alam. Once again, very thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to present over here. And I'm really sorry for the distortion from my line. I just changed my line, so no, it's okay. So you may ask any question if you have. Thank you very much once again.